3 p.m. to 7 today.
Right here.
On Hard Facts. On Hard Facts.
Hello, Lagos. Good afternoon. I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. The show starts earlier than it used to. Have you noticed that? That's by popular demand. You want more hard facts, and you've got it. The news now ends at about 3:05, 3:03 today, 3:02 yesterday. So shout out to my newsroom for taking us around the world in 5 minutes. Now, on today's hard fact, I have your first hard fact of the day. NYSC camp just opened in all the states and Abuja. So now almost 500,000 young people are in 37 or so camps. And remember, not all of them live in Nigeria. Every year, you have people who graduated in foreign countries coming home to do their youth service. So we have to ask ourselves, how many of the corpers in camp right now recently traveled from the US or the UK or Italy? From all these countries where COVID-19 has reached community spread. And because of this concern, many Nigerians have called on NYSC to suspend camp for this new batch. But NYSC is saying that they have the situation under control. Oh, by the way, the government has announced new rules for people entering Nigeria, traveling to or arriving from the following countries. People who are coming in from China, South Korea, Italy, Iran, Japan, Hong Kong, those ones will be automatically quarantined for 14 days. Plus, all business travel to and from these countries is banned for now. That's category 1. Then there's a lower category of countries: Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Macau, Taiwan. People coming from there will be asked to quarantine themselves with government monitoring them from time to time. Then category 3, Australia, France, Germany, United Arab Emirates, USA, Canada, Vietnam, United Kingdom, India, Pakistan, Philippines, Egypt, and Algeria. People coming from these countries will not be quarantined, but they must submit a medical questionnaire to government 7 days before coming and wait for government to respond. So these new rules have just gone into effect. Now, imagine that the core members who came in from these countries and came in before the new rules, are going to be spending time in camp right now with other Nigerians. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but that's your first hard fact for today, your daily COVID-19 update. More time means more hard facts, and I am here to bring you the best insights into today's most important topics. I'll break them down, I'll give you the facts, so that you can form an informed opinion, and any show you miss, you can catch online. Go to Facebook, go to YouTube, go to Twitter, Nigeria Info FM. We have a great show for you today. We'll start with the big 3. Lagos speaker says Tinubu is everything to APC's success. We'll take a look at that story. Plus, a former government transport consultant launches a ride-hailing service. And police accuse Oba of sending youths to extort Nupeng. It's Thursday, so we're bringing you Eyewitness as usual. And this is where we let you take over and turn our spotlight to the stories in your area that you believe should be making the news. So load your airtime, get ready to give us a call. We're also going to bring you the League of Extraordinary Nigerians. On the Big Hard Fact today, we're going to be looking at child discipline versus child abuse. It's a thin line, and a lot of people cross it. A lot. I want to hear from you. I want to hear where you draw the line. And then we're going to wrap up the show with Ireti Bakare Yusuf and listed Lagosian. She's going to be interviewing Monsieur Francois Ott. He's a Lagosian, by the way, of France. As usual, throughout the show, we're bringing you the latest updates from business, from sports, from entertainment. But let's get started with the big 3.
This is the Big 3.
The Big 3 on Hard Facts.
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
You know what to expect on the Big 3 stories that everybody's talking about right now. Should a political party belong to one man? Should a government consultant on transportation open a transport company? What are the roles of an Oba and other traditional rulers. What roles do they play in society? And what role should they play in society? So two questions. What role are they currently playing and what role should they be playing? Tinubu remains everything to the continued success of the party he built from scratch. Those were the words of Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Obasa was talking about the suspension of 2 members of the House and the replacement of 2 principal officers, and he said that there was no division or rift in the state party because the entire structure remains loyal to Chief Bola Tinubu. Obasa said the actions taken against the 4 House members were to maintain party discipline. Speaking again about Tinubu, he said, quote, "It is unarguable that his resilience, love for democracy, passion to see his foot soldiers grow, and belief in discipline cannot be measured." End of quote. And again, it's back to that question I was asking earlier on. Should members of the House of Assembly elected by you be suspended because of party discipline? Is that a good enough reason for you? I really want to hear your opinion on this. Yesterday, I brought you this story. I told you that 2 of your elected assemblymen are no longer allowed to sit and make laws. They are suspended. The people of Ibejuleki constituency 2 no longer have a voice in Alausa. The people of Lagos mainland constituency 2 no longer have a voice in Alausa. And I told you no clear reason has been given. And I asked you if you were okay with that. But now we've heard a reason, kinda. The Speaker of the House, the man who presided over their suspension, has spoken, and he says it happened because one man, Chief Bola Tinubu, is in charge, and he demands party discipline. Now, there has always been a debate about whether elected officials owe their loyalty to the party that gave them the ticket or the voters who gave them the mandate. Which one do you think it is? And now we have the Speaker of the House, elected on the APC platform, say that one man is everything to the party's success. Do you agree that Tinubu is everything to Lagos APC? If you're a party member, how do you feel about this? I want to hear from you. As a Lagosian, regardless of party, how do you feel about elected officials being suspended because of party affairs? 0700 993 993 993. 0700 993 993 993. You can also send us a message on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080 959 75805. 0700 993 993 993. Hello. Thanks for calling us.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
This is Kayode from Ipaja.
Go ahead, Kayode.
I have 2 ways to this question, to answer this question. Number 1. Alhaji Bola Tinubu has been a strong force in APC.
Okay.
I want to say that he needs to be there to monitor what is going on as an elderly person. APC has passed through a lot of stages for it to have reached where it is now. And it's still going for because some elderly people are still there to control it. Party discipline is very important. I'm not a politician, but I've gone through and I've seen what APC is holding on today because some people are there to monitor it. And when people are discussing it, I also wish that you also balance it. Because now you are mentioning Tinubu as the way people will respond to it, you see that by the time we reach this program, people that hate the man, people that hate the party, opposition party will call in and begin to talk bad about him.
Yeah, but Kayode, Kayode, hold on. Kayode.
Let me talk.
No, Kayode, I will let you talk. Kayode, I will let you talk if you let me talk. Kayode.
The people calling now, I'm not saying
You
the man is
cannot
perfect.
call my show and tell me to be very careful. Kayode, what's going to happen is this. I will present a story the way that it was presented. I gave you the words of the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. I gave you his own words. And I'm asking you how you feel about the words of the Lagos State Speaker. And you're telling me I'm presenting things that will make people call in and bash a man? I presented to you what the Speaker of the House said. And you're telling me to be very careful on a live radio program. That's not acceptable, Kayode. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, welcome. What's your name? What's your name, ma'am?
My mom.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Sandra.
How are you?
I'm fine. This is Rotimi from Intimo, Lagos.
Go ahead, Rotimi.
The last caller was not very wrong, sir. You didn't allow him. You slanted. I'm a journalist, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Your presentation was slanted.
How?
This way. You quoted the words of the Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly to mean that it was Tinubu that was saying it was bigger than Lagosians.
No, I
That
said
was
this
the
is
slant.
what
No,
I
no, no,
said.
no,
This is
listen.
what
Look,
the Speaker
we are
said.
speaking English, Sandra.
Exactly. Are you
English,
understanding English?
Listen, I majored in English.
Good. And what you heard me say.
I've been in journalism now since 1986.
Congratulations.
So you and I, fine. So you are distorting, intending to.
I am
make
distorting
the
something that I quoted verbatim.
Yeah, but you
I quoted the Speaker verbatim.
Did you quote Tinubu? You quoted the Speaker as saying that Tinubu is bigger than Lagos, and that's why you are now throwing to the public. And the last caller said, what you did was unjournalistic, and you cut him off. Come on now.
Okay.
Come on.
All right. Let's talk to you now. Hello.
Hello, Sandra.
How are you?
Fine, Jare.
What's your name?
Mr. Darlington speaking.
Go ahead, Mr.
Sandra,
Darlington.
Please, when somebody is sick and the doctor wants to cure him and the person say, leave me, I want to remain with my sickness, don't bother yourself. You can imagine. This same Obama, he said something last year, that every member of Lagos State House of Assembly should remember that they are here on behalf of Tinubu. What kind of democracy is that in a Lagos state, a center of excellence? Look at how they attack you. Do they even need anybody to tell them that this is shameful? How can Obasa even say what he said? Where is the democracy here, for God's sake? Can you just imagine? So these people are comfortable with what's going on in Lagos State, Abi? And you are calling it democracy. They are comfortable. They are challenging you for saying what you said. Oh, God. Anyway, let them continue. One day, this thing will boomerang, and they will come back to regret what they are doing.
Let me talk to somebody else. Hello.
Good evening. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sandra.
Yes.
You see what happened in Lagos?
What?
Any person who wants to be in Lagos must obey what Tinubu is saying. And as soon as you get Lagos, you cannot do anyhow in Lagos that you remain that party. I'm sorry for democracy in Lagos.
Okay, all right then. So, we started the story and I told you what the Speaker of the House said. Obasa said the actions taken against the 4 House members were to maintain party discipline. He said Tinubu remains everything to the continued success of the party he built from scratch, the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. And he said this in reference to the suspension of 2 members of the House and the replacement of 2 principal officers. He said there was no division or rift in the state party because the entire structure remains loyal to Chief Bola Tinubu. And then he went on to say, quote, it is unarguable that his resilience, love for democracy, passion to see his foot soldiers grow, and belief in discipline cannot be measured. And I asked you, should members of the House of Assembly elected by you, Rotimi, by you, Kayode, be suspended because of party discipline? Is that a good enough reason for you? I brought you the story yesterday. I told you that 2 of your elected assemblymen are no longer allowed to sit and make laws. They are suspended. So the people in Ibejuleki constituency 2 no longer have a voice in Alausa. The people of Lagos Mainland constituency 2 no longer have a voice in Alausa. And I told you no clear reason was given. The Speaker of the House kind of gave us a reason today, and he says it happened because one man, Chief Bola Tinubu, is in charge, and he always demands party discipline. Now, are elected officials loyal to the party that gave them the ticket, or the voters who gave them the mandate? Which one do you think it is? 0700 993 993 993. Hello.
Hello, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
My name is Frank. I'm calling from Yaba.
Go ahead, Frank.
Now, it's amazing how people want to tell you how to run your show. But I don't want to go that lane. I don't want to join issues with them. They are entitled to their own opinion. But what I am concerned about is that I'm a Lagosian. I'm from mainland.
Okay.
And I'm not happy that because I don't belong to APC. But I'm not happy that my own representative is being withdrawn. I don't have a voice there. Simply because of party affairs. I think this is what we should be looking at. How does it affect people who are not even APC members? What if you are not an APC member? That means because of just one man, you will let to suffer. You don't have a voice. You can't. This is representative democracy, and I should have a say in that house. Now I no longer have a say because of one man in APC, and people are calling to justify it. Who does that? Thank you.
Thanks for calling me. Hello.
Good afternoon, Sandra Ezekwesili.
Good afternoon to you, sir. What's your name?
It's M.I. from Aghogho.
M.I., go ahead.
And since we are talking basic English, we can either choose to say the king is naked or is wearing an invisible garment. Or semantics now. I don't have a problem with how, if someone says the way the broom is sweeping Lagos, they like it. I don't have a problem with that. But as long as it gets to the point where my vote has been disenfranchised, that is where I have a problem. Anybody, how they like their house they want, it's none of my business. But if it gets to the point where my constitutional right, voting somebody in, is being disenfranchised, then we may have a conversation. So I don't join issues with anybody. Everybody's free to do whatever happens in their own house. Then coming back, the one that really bothers me is you mentioned that a regulator is becoming an operator. Since we are all talking big English, it's called conflict of interest. Do you understand? Sandra, let me tell you, my father, the way he trained us, if you want to cut meat, the person that cut the meat must not be the first person to choose.
Okay.
Because if you are sure what you cut is equal, then allow the other person to choose first. Do you understand? We are talking about ease of business. We are talking about level playing field. When the person cutting the meat wants to be the one to decide how the meat is being shared, something, if I get men now, so you understand? So, don't mind like that. It's called, since we are talking big English, it's called conflict of English. Interest.
Of interest. Thanks for calling me, M.I. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, how are you?
Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Austin, calling from Lekki.
Austin, go ahead.
A man who plays the flute also blows his nose. And also he who plays the piper dictates his tone.
Okay.
The simple is that these people that we call elected officials, do we really elected them?
Okay.
If we elected them, then we should follow the due process. Whereby somewhere one man is in charge of a particular political party, and whatever thing he says stands. I don't think we are practicing democracy. It is only when we said we are practicing the real democracy that we know that we are really actually in democracy. But what you have in Lagos State today, to me, is not practical democracy.
Okay. Austin, thanks for calling me. Let's move on to our second story. But yes, you can still comment on the first when you call us. Is the Lagos State government backing a new cab hailing app? That's what many Lagosians have been asking since Echo Cab announced its launch. The company is providing a platform for Lagosians to hail yellow taxis, yellow cabs. You know them? They were once popular in the city, but lost their place because of customer service issues, car quality, and the rise of ride-hailing. And while many Lagosians welcome a new option, concerns have been raised about the timing and the relationship between the owners of the new service and the state government. There have been mixed signals. Some government officials and the EcoCab CEO have said the company has nothing to do with the government. But at the same time, the CEO admitted that the company started as a consultant to the government on transportation and helped develop the regulations for ride-hailing in the state. Okay. So let's start with this. The name of the company is EcoCab. Now, lawyers are telling me that if you want to register a company that has Eco in its name, Corporate Affairs Commission will give you a very hard time. They usually want to see that you have some connection to the Lagos state government. But here, EcoCab is saying they have no connection. Okay. Now, here's the second thing. Segun Cole, the CEO of EcoCab, says that the company started as a consultant for the government. And what did they do as consultant? They helped government set up the rules to regulate ride-hailing companies. And what's been happening to those companies? Well, we've seen in the last few weeks that they've been complaining about the new rules. They've been saying the rules are stopping them from doing business profitably. And now suddenly, there is a new competitor owned by the consultants who made the new rules so that they are struggling to make ends meet. And I think I have to ask if you think there's a conflict of interest here. If you're a lawyer, is there any merit to the idea that CAC doesn't freely give out the name ECO? If you've registered a company with ECO in there, is there any merit to that talk? Do you use yellow taxis? You as a Lagosian listening to the show, do you use yellow taxis? Why do you use them? Why don't you use them? I want to hear from you. 0700 993 993 993. 0700 993 993 993. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
My name is John.
John, go ahead.
Sometimes, honestly, I wonder if you are a Nigerian.
Okay.
Because the authority with which you speak, not being afraid of whoever is listening, marvels me most of the time.
Okay.
And if we have people like this that can declare the truth, not minding who is listening, not minding threats, I think this nation will see the light, and that will help us to move forward. Because we have allowed our leaders to deceive us for a very long time. And because of their threats, we are afraid to speak the truth. And I want to tell Lagosians, if anything happened to Sandra Ezekwesili, the man that called and openly threatened her on radio should be noted. Thank you very much.
All right, John. Thanks for calling. Okay. All right. Can you send your WhatsApp message? Today has been quite funny. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. 080-959-75805. If you cannot reach us on WhatsApp, I'm understanding that WhatsApp may be having some issues right now. Please send your messages via Facebook. Facebook is Nigeria Info FM. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Go ahead.
Yeah, nice to hear your voice on your beautiful program.
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Tony.
Tony, go ahead.
I'm calling from Ikeja.
All right.
Yes, as a matter of fact, political parties in Nigeria, at times, we see it as personal business. Yes. If you can account or remember, since 1999, those governors that ruled several states at the same time Tinubu governed Lagos, all hands off their states and let the will of the people happen. But that's not what is happening in Lagos State. Since then, Mr. Tinubu is a stakeholder in Lagos. He eats from the boss, and he survives from the boss. And as a matter of fact, the Lagosians, being whom they are in total support of that. So we are not surprised the way their speaker is sounding, because look at him. For how many times, how long has he been a speaker? And what are his qualifications to be there? So it's a rubber stamp in that office. So for your straight presentation, I wish you well. Nothing will happen to you. God is guiding you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling me, Tony. Olaoluwa Lagbe on Facebook says, maybe the last caller doesn't know that Sandra is absolutely biased. Go back to your Port Harcourt Jare. Enyo Lorunda Oluwatoyin says, truth may hurt, but it is what it is, brotherly. Whether you accept what she quoted verbatim or you jet out of this show. How can one man be bigger than the whole of Lagos? We are still blind in Lagos. Sobukola Oladimeji David says, it's very obvious. Fine, you're doing your job, but you shouldn't be sounding biased. There are professional ways you could have laid down the topic and not make listeners have the perception of you being biased. Okay. Rob Cosmos from Austin, Texas says, Nigerians are typically impoverished people. This is Facebook. I'm reading comments on Facebook, by the way. And this person says, everybody in Lagos knows what the speaker meant. Let our people stop all these selective bigotry. It's just unjustifiable. And Jonathan Atuvie says, she read out what was said in the statement. Okay, I think I've read that message before. All right, this is for Facebook. You can tweet at us as well at Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info FM for Twitter. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. Don't forget our second story, Echo Cab. I'm curious to hear your thoughts about Echo Cab. Do you think there's a conflict of interest there? If you're a lawyer, is there any merit to that idea that CAC doesn't freely give out the name Echo? Is that true or is it a lie? Do you use yellow taxis as a Lagosian? Do you use yellow taxis? I don't. I've not used a yellow taxi since I moved to Lagos. I've always ordered the other kinds. Simply because I don't like the way the yellow taxis look. But that's me. That's a personal preference. I wonder what your own reasons are for not using them or for using them. If you use them, why do you use them? Do you think they're cheaper? Do you think they're more comfortable? Do you think they know more routes? Why do you use them if you use them? I'm asking because a lot of Lagosians are trying to find out about yellow taxis that have been launched as an e-hailing cab service. So we have a company that is providing a platform to Lagosians so that they can hail yellow taxis, right? They were very popular before, but they lost their place because bad customer service, car quality, and ride-hailing apps came in and took over the market. Now, Lagosians are happy about the new option, but they've raised concerns about the timing and the relationship between the owners of the new service and the state government. We have some government officials and the Echo Cab CEO saying that the company has nothing to do with government. But at the same time, the CEO and the CEO admitted that the company started as a consultant to the government on transportation and helped develop the regulations for ride-hailing in the state. So all of those things you have with having to get your Hackney permit, having to get your last 3 license, all of those things, he was a consultant who was brought in to help make those new rules. And now he's a CEO who owns the Echo Cab, the yellow taxi service. So it's all quite interesting. Do you think there's a conflict of interest there? That's what I'm asking you. And do you think that the lawyers who told me that if you want to register any company that has Echo in the name, CAC gives you a tough time because they want to see how much connection you have to the Lagos state government? right? Is that true? Is it true that CAC doesn't freely give out eco? And if you use yellow taxis, I want to hear from you as well. Why do you use them? If you don't use them, why don't you use them? 0700 993 993 993. And yes, you can still talk about our first story where I told you that the Speaker of the House, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, said Tinubu remains everything to the continued success of the party he built from scratch. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
My name is Liberty. I'm calling from somewhere in Yaba.
Okay.
Regarding the first story about Tinubu and Lagos State, when it comes to Nigeria as a whole, in my own personal opinion, I've never really thought we have a true democracy for the first place. My own thoughts, my own personal opinion, I've always think that Nigeria is run by some particular individual. So Tinubu just happens to be the bigger picture in Lagos, who holds the majority of the Lagos, and there are people ready to die for him as he speaks. And the thing is that people are ready to fight for the rights of the Nigerians, but in the same Nigeria that you're waiting to fight for, will still be the one to kill you at the end of the day. It's not even the person you're speaking against. The same person you're trying to fight for the rights for, those people are the ones who will see persecution at the end of the day. That's why we're still where we are. And if we continue like this, I don't see us going anywhere.
All right, calling me. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
My name is Jared.
Go ahead, Jabin.
Still up for yellow tax. If you remember, back 70s, every in this nation have their ounce of taxes. The way of operation for town cycle. That's why you see this yellow buses today. You see, when the VIO was explaining that if you or whatever app that want to operate, they should change to yellow. That is the law of the service. So the difference are that when this yellow is the one that we have now is the quality of their vehicle. If their vehicle, go to that country, in Germany, you will see, when you see a taxi, you know that this is a taxi. But the vehicle will be okay, you see. So if they operate in that form, I think that's what they are trying to reduce. Even other apps, if you want to join, you join. You have a yellow vehicle, paint vehicle, you have a yellow number plate. And that's what they are trying to introduce, that they will know that this is a commercial vehicle. So it's a good idea. If they launch it, it doesn't disturb anybody. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for calling. Hello. Hello. Okay, you have to turn your radio off when you're calling to the show. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
My name is Ovie.
Ovie, go ahead.
Calling from Yaba.
Go ahead, Ovie.
Okay, so on the first issue of the comment by the Speaker of Lagos State, it's actually very obvious to everyone in Lagos as to what the Speaker meant by that. Clearly, it means that they in the House are stooges to Tinubu. That's what it means, rubber stamp. And so we are not surprised. I'm not surprised.
How do you feel about that as a Lagosian? How do you feel about that? As a Lagosian, how do you feel about that?
Not just as a Lagosian, because it's not limited to Lagos alone. It makes one feel bad.
Okay.
Definitely. And then more or less, the person educated people who now endorse this. A journalist who should know better. He said he's been a journalist since 1980-something.
86.
And he's trying to endorse something of that nature. That's retrogressive. These people claim that they are progressive by mouth, but their actions are retrogressive actions. And for educated persons to not call you and begin to endorse that, it's shameful. I want to comment on the second issue.
Go ahead.
The one of the cab. I happen to be a lawyer, so I can speak on the issue of
Thank you.
conflict of interest. Now, yes, there are certain, with respect to CAC, there are certain terms that are restricted for public policy purposes. I've not tried to put in for a code anytime, but I will not doubt if there's restriction on the use of a code by CA. Because the alternative word for Lagos in the local parlance is Eco. So if you want to now use Lagos to register anybody, it connotes that you have the patronage or the approval of the Lagos government.
But here you have a COCAB saying no connection to the Lagos state government.
Well, and then as a lawyer who practices in Lagos, I want to go beyond just the name, right? I don't even want to engage them on whether or not whether they have patronage or not. But what I want to say is that you see this arrangement of a co-cab. On the surface, there may be no conflict of interest on the surface. So if you go to the registration, you might find maybe because what indicates that there's government interest is that the shareholding of the company has a Lagos official as a director or Lagos something. Has some shares. Yes. Or they have a technical joint venture or partnership with the Lagos state government. So they may not have this on paper. But you see, in operation, because of the special relationship of the company having served as a consultant to the government, because of that relationship, so off record, there will be such alliance, such patronage will inevitably be there. I can tell you that. That's how it operates. It will be there. And so, like I said, on the paper, on the surface, there's no conflict of interest. But you know where the problem lies is that where, in terms of enforcement, they will be giving tax, the one they call Bolt and Uber, difficult times. These other guys will be given a free hand to operate.
Because that's what I find curious, sir. That's what I find curious. We have Segun Cole, the CEO of EcoCab, saying that the company started as a consultant for the government, right? And as consultants, what they did was help government rules to regulate ride-hailing companies. And since those rules went into effect, we have had ride-hailing companies complaining for weeks about those news. And they've been saying that these rules are stopping them from doing business profitably. And now suddenly there's a new competitor owned by the consultants who made the new rules. So that's why I'm asking if there's a conflict of interest.
So like I said, in paper, no conflict of interest. But operationally, it's inevitable.
There might be.
You know, another thing that happens is that if, as a rider, I enter Uber today, the Lagos State officials are stopping the vehicle. They stop the vehicle. I enter Bolt tomorrow, they stop the vehicle. And then somebody say, each time I enter a co-cab, no one has stopped me. So what will happen is that a co-cab will be given undue advantage, such that because I don't want anybody to disturb my ride, I will just opt for a co-cab. So that is where the real issue is. So on paper, there may be no conflict of interest, really. In actual fact, the fact that they help to create the policies for the rules in itself is not a problem, does not create conflict of interest. Where a conflict of interest will arise is after, apart from operating the eco-cab, they also serve as regulators. If they were to serve as regulators, or they continue to serve as consultants even after they've launched their own platform, that's where the conflict of interest would. So I assume from what you have said that they were consultants before now.
Before, yes.
Yes. So if there are number of consultants, no conflict of interest. But because of the special relationship off record, that's where the issue
is. Thank you so much, sir, for shedding light. I really appreciate you calling into the show. Final story, the police is accusing an Oba of sending thugs to attack New Peng. By the way, let me remind you that the Big Three now starts very early. So from 2 minutes past 3, the Big Three is already live. So if you don't want to miss out on any part of the Big Three, make sure that once it's 3 o'clock, tune in. The news is for like 2 minutes now, 3 minutes tops. And then we dive right into the Big Three. So our final story, 40 people were arrested in the V Niger area of Abule Ado after a clash between youths and members of the Petroleum Workers Union. According to the police, the Oba of Oguntedo village, Oba Latif Olarinde, allegedly sent community youths to demand payment from Nupeng. And when the union refused, he allegedly ordered the youths to take over their premises. This, police say, is what led to the clash. The attack took place at 4 a.m. Eyewitnesses say the thugs also vandalized and robbed homes and cars and shops before the police intervened and arrested more than 36 of these thugs. This is a big accusation from the police. They've basically pointed out an Oba and said he sent youths to commit a crime. That is huge. And this is in connection with community levy and Deve or Monile. You know, the businesses and home builders have been complaining for years that communities are extorting them and it's bad for business. And the question that many people ask is, why aren't the traditional rulers doing more to get this problem under control? But now here we have the police saying the Oba cannot stop it because he is the one behind it. And that makes me want to ask, are our traditional rulers doing more harm than good? Are they playing the role that we expect of them? But maybe it's not all Obas. Also in the news, the Bale of Kandoso community is asking senators to convert Lagos's LCDAs into full local government areas. To become an LGA, you have to be listed in the constitution, so you need the Senate to back an amendment. And here is a Bale using his position of respect to ask the senators to do this because it will help Lagos develop more funding. So on the one hand, an Oba is allegedly sending hoodlums to extort organizations. On the other hand, a Bale is calling for development. Which is more common? Which type of traditional ruler do you normally encounter? What role traditional rulers should play in society? 0700 993 993 0700 993 993 99. Let's talk to you now. Hello? 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 Good afternoon.
Hello, Sandra.
Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon. Rotimi, I have some clarifications to make, please.
Okay.
One lady called and said you have been threatened. Nobody threatened you. Yours is one of the best programs that I listen to every day. So, there was nobody. Neither the first caller nor myself threatened you. We're clarifying things in an intellectual, style. Again, Sandra, you see, the lawyer that called us got it wrong.
Okay. Are you a lawyer?
No, I'm not. I'm the journalist who was trying to castigate.
Okay.
He didn't get my point, so he was out of order. The point I made actually was not an endorsement of what the speaker or whatever anybody said. What I said is that, look, anybody can drop anybody's name. The speaker may have even dropped Tinubu's name as his leader. It's allowed even in if you want to beat a child, you may say, my mother and my teacher sent me, you will leave him. So the speaker may have been dropping the name of Ashwaju. My point actually was that what the speaker said was his own personal opinion. Ashwaju did not come out to say that Lagosians don't matter, I'm the biggest in this place.
Let's talk about what points the lawyer made that you don't like. What point did he make you don't like?
The point he was castigating me wrongly. He said I was on journalist. He was insinuating that I endorsed what the speaker said, that Tinubu is everything. Okay. What I said was that, look, it was not Tinubu's voice that you quoted. It was the speaker that
but when I said it, I didn't quote Tinubu, I quoted the speaker, didn't I?
We are on the same line. The lawyer was trying to mislead the public by saying that I endorse what the speaker said, that Tinubu was everything in Lagos. What I said was actually that Tinubu did not himself say that. All right, thanks for calling me, Rotimi. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
Good afternoon. I'm Jonathan.
Jonathan, go ahead. Can you speak up, Jonathan, so that everybody can hear you?
Okay. What's happening is that a tree cannot make a forest. So Nigerian politics is always like that. So they should not cascade Tinubu or whatever he's doing. Those who will follow him will still follow him. Those who will not like to follow him will not follow him. Thank you.
All right, thanks for calling me. Hello.
Hello?
How are you, sir? What's your name?
I'm 18.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. People are condemning what Tinubu is doing in Lagos. I want to also remind you of what happened in Cross River State, which I saw. Cross River State, they do install impose Ilimoke on Cross River. After its 8 years, he installed the current governor, Ben Ayade, on us. You know what happened in the floor of the House of Assembly?
What?
The refusal to confirm Ipeme, Ipeme
as Chief Justice.
As
Chief Justice
of Cross River State. What is the difference and what is happening in Delta State? J.C. Bori was in prison in London. He detailed who become a councillor.
What's your point?
In Delta State.
What's your point?
Who become a House of Assembly member in Delta State. Who become a House of Representative, a senator.
So you're saying, to understand
senator,
you, Jonathan, to understand you, because it's happening in all these other states, people should not talk about it happening in Lagos.
They should also condemn what is happening in other states. And most of the people that are
so you admit, Jonathan,
from South and Southeast.
Jonathan,
they should go back to their state.
Jonathan,
even in Kigali,
Jonathan, hold on.
The former Jews of Kalu,
Jonathan, hold on. Jonathan, calm down now. Calm down. Jiriwayo, calm down. So, you're saying that even if we condemn Lagos, let's condemn others, but let's condemn Lagos too. Abi?
They should also condemn other ones.
But should we condemn Lagos too? But Jonathan, should we condemn Lagos too?
What Tinubu is, anybody that doesn't know what Tinubu is doing.
Should we condemn what he is doing, or should we just focus on condemn? You will not condemn it because it's happening everywhere else.
Because that's what are doing it.
Other people are doing it, so let's not complain that one person is doing it. Do you agree with Jonathan, I wonder? Let's talk to you. Hello.
Hello.
How are you, sir? Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Glory be to God.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Call us back if you can. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, Sandra. Please, Sandra. Did you remember how people died for this democracy? Did you remember how heads were destroyed? Human lives were destroyed. We fought for this. What is democracy? If it is going to be the democracy of one man, then we better sit down at home.
Better sit down at home, he says. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
Comrade Ogba Nago Mohammed Ibrahim.
Okay. Do you agree with Jonathan?
No, I didn't. Look, when people talk, they blame Tinubu. I am from Kogi State.
Okay.
Are you getting it? And I am worried about my state and what is going on than what is going on in Lagos. If Lagos is to be like, if we can get somebody like Tinubu in Kogi State, we'll be 100% happy.
Okay.
Why are people from other states coming to start castigating Tinubu in Lagos? And their states are going down day after day. Look at the examples they have been giving you. Instead of us here to start talking to our state governors.
So you're saying let other states in Nigeria adopt what Tinubu is doing in Lagos?
If they should, yes, because Tinubu is even doing the right thing.
All right, let's talk to other people and see whether they agree with you. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Do you agree with my last caller?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so don't castigate what's happening in other states.
You only accept people that speak in support of what you have in your idea.
No, actually, I'm accepting everybody. That's why I took your call.
You know what? That's why you cut the phone when I called first time.
Okay, and I'm cutting it again now. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine. My name is Musa.
Musa, do you agree with the second to the last caller? Oh, great to have you. I like first-time callers. Do you agree with the second to the last caller who says, let's all adopt in other states what is happening in Lagos?
No. I'm from Kogi State as well.
Okay.
If we can see a presenter like you all over the country, at least we will move a step ahead. And one thing again, God will continue to protect and lead you in what you are doing. We really love your program, and we love you.
Oh, Musa, thank you. That is very sweet. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine. My name is Boyega Oderinde.
Good to have you on the show, Boyega. Do you agree with my other callers who have said, let's adopt in other states what's happening in Lagos?
Actually, I want to pass a comment about the issue of the traditional ruler.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. No.
I see more of the traditional ruler that encounter with, and less of the other one that made the youth to
go and attack allegedly.
The youth to go and attack the NUPENG members. Actually, the problem stems right from the process of selection of these traditional rulers, and I'm privy to first-hand information that most of these kingmakers are compromised right at the selection level. So you get people who are not gentlemen propped up to the traditional rulers. They are, most of those you see in that regard, they are not gentlemen. They are not people Yoruba people called Omoluabi. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling us today. Hello. Hello?
I can hear you.
But I can't hear you. Hi.
Can you hear me?
Oh, that's quite unfortunate. Hello? Hello?
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Barrister.
Hello? Yes, what did you say your name was, sir?
Barrister Ben.
Barrister Ben, welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Oh my God.
You've been trying to call, have you?
Yeah. That's it.
Well,
you see what I want to say is that I hate it when people say, government, we are being used by government. Government deceive us. This, that. Oh my God. I hate to hear such words from people.
Okay.
Honestly speaking. This is from the first time. Okay, now, are we trying to say that the government were the one that are using the word? They were being used by themselves because they focus on money that is coming from them. So now, if assuming now, in fact, I know that many of those people that were calling, saying that we are being used by government, they deceive us. Although, if maybe one of them are being given opportunity to be there by themselves, somebody will still come someday complain about them again. So
we are the government. We are the problem, huh?
But we have a very big problem. In fact, I say again, my name is Baisabet. In some years coming, I'm going to be the president of Nigeria. And I also believe that many people will still complain.
Yes, now, if you're not a good president, we'll complain about you. Why not, if not? Arinza from Vestac says, I love your show. Your boldness is spectacular. The issue with Lagos having one man as its master key is a choice, even though it's a bad one. The Yellow Cap story, good enough. It still leaves us a choice. I don't like them, and I never will. Arinza, thanks for your message. We've got somebody who says Tinubu is not bigger than the party. Even if Tinubu formed APC, he must seek the permission of the party every time. Everything has time. If the party is loyal to him, he must seek for people's opinions. Bolaji from Lagos. I'm not sure I understand that message, but okay. Sandra, the truth of the matter is one day this same man's wings will be cut off. How can one man be in charge of everything in Lagos? These people are so blind, and one day their eyes will be open. I rest my case. And that's a message from EGK Clement. EGK, somebody will probably call you and tell you to go back to your state. Do we realize how offensive that is to tell people go back to your state? How are you different from white people in America who tell black people go back to your country? God. We've got another message here. Says, thanks for the good job, Sandra. Please ignore the first two callers with their biased contribution. They most likely are APC members. But everybody's welcome on Hard Facts. Everybody can share their opinions. We've got Kayode Nikotun who says, Senator Bola Tinubu remains the alpha and omega of any political party he belongs to as far as he's alive. Even the president and presidency cannot joke with his political sagacity and influence, even beyond political terrains. QED and EOD. All right, Coyote from Ikotun, thanks for that message. Good afternoon, Sandra. If you are an elected member in Lagos State and you cannot obey the party, you just have to resign from the party. BAT remains the alpha and omega. Olusegun Musa from Ajegunle sent that message. We've got, good afternoon, Sandra. Lagos has stooges and not lawmakers. Let people not be deceived. I believe Lagosians are simply in bondage because there really was no election in Lagos in 2019. Chike says. We have this one here. My name is Evans from Oworo. Sandra, it's now obvious that this country still has a long way to go. I feel very disappointed at those who are trying to justify what is going on in Lagos. These are the kinds of citizens who are the problem of this country. Coming up is League of Extraordinary Nigerians. And after that, Eyewitness. What's happening in your part of Lagos, your beautifully run Lagos, your Lagos that everything works so perfectly? Are there things that we need to spotlight? Are there things that we need to hear about? Are there things that we need to talk about? Let's hear them in 30 minutes.
99.3, your reliable station for more information around Nigeria.